Hey, it's Bauer. Welcome to AI Command Academy. So let's take a look at projects. This is probably one of the best features of Pro. It's the bread and butter. It allows you to do a lot more without the repetition. So let's take a look. See you there. Hey there, back at my desk from my brisk walk, so I'm a little flushed in the face. So this is the first of many sessions we could do just on Claude Projects, and I think it's like, if there's one reason to upgrade to Pro, this is it, and you can really do a lot with it. So I'm just going to show you some of the basics. If you start just with the default chat here, you will open up the side panel here and you'll see that you have projects. And so think of projects, before we dive into the details, like a project. So let's say that you have a set of documents that you're going to be working on, or even one document that you're going to be working on for a couple of days. And so before projects, you wanted to use AI to help you synthesize the information, summarize it. You'd have to upload that document for each chat, or you would have the same chat session running and it's getting longer and longer and longer. So when that happens, you tend to, it's called context overload. So it's a situation where you don't want to have one chat that's 1 mile high, because it kind of loses, AI loses kind of the context and what you're trying to do. So anyway, you would start a new chat and have to upload those documents again and kind of start all over. And that was frustrating. So OpenAI has the equivalent. I don't think they call it projects as well. And I really like Claude's version. They were the first to do it. So it is on the left-hand panel here. You open projects and then you create a new project. So you give your project a name. Let's say Apple 2025 10K. So report on Apple's financials. This is just an example. So here we've just created our project. And you can just, if you were to just start chatting, this would just be like any other chat. But the nice thing here is that you can include files. So you have a couple things to do here. Instructions we won't quite tackle yet. That will be for a later video. But I'm going to attach a file here, which is the Apple 2025 10K financial document. And now that file is always associated with the project. And so that can be really beneficial. So let's say we summarize the first page in 2 sentences. I'm just trying to do this to keep it short for the sake of the video. So it's referencing the first page of the document and doing this. Okay. All right, great. Kind of what we'd expect, right? So now if we were to go back and start a new chat, so we're back like at the home page essentially. You can see if we go back to project and we open this up, our previous chat is down at the bottom here. So we can go back into that chat and further that conversation, or we can start a new chat, new context, a new part of the project essentially, and reference the same document. So right there, that's a huge win because it's a convenience factor for you if you're working on a project that's going to last a couple days, and you don't have to continuously upload the same reference documents. Now let me show you one little trick that's really nice. So this is getting a little bit further ahead, but it's I'll show you. So I'm going to say summarize the second page in 2 sentences. You get my drift. I'm just trying to make this go fast. But here's the kicker though. I'm going to say save this as an artifact. Okay, so we really haven't talked about artifacts too much yet, but that last sentence there is key. So it's going to do the second page summary, and it's going to save it as its own essentially it's essentially its own document. And I'm going to show you here what I can do with that. So we're still in the project. You can see up here Apple 2510K, and it's looking at the document that we uploaded, the PDF, looking at the second page, presumably. All right, and now it's writing this artifact. Okay, so there's our artifact, and it displays it on the right here, which is very nice. But what we can do here, watch this, is you could copy just the plain text, you could download it, but here's something really, really nice. You can add to project, right? So we've just added that file to the project. If we go back here, we can see that summary saved in the project. So there's a lot you can do with that as you're working on, let's say that you had to write your own financial analysis based on the 10K. And so you might approach it just like you would any project. You would want a summary, you'd want the high points, the low points, and then you could ask Claude to create actually a project plan for you. And if once you reviewed that plan and you were satisfied with it, you could kind of just freeze it and say, save it as an artifact. And once it did that, you would save it to the project. And then you would come back into that project and say, like, let's tackle section 2 of the project plan. And then it would have that document to reference. So you can see it kind of stacks and layers on top of each other. And it's all within just the files of project. So we're not only bringing in our own files, in this case, the Apple 10K, which I just downloaded from the internet, but we can create documents and save them in the project and build from there. So another real quick thing I want to show you is, let's say we're back to our plain old chat. So we're out of the project, right? And let's say that what are the high points of the financials? Like, if you were to just ask that into the default, it would be like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what this is in reference to. So what you can do here, though, is pretty nice, is you can use a project. So I can just assign that command, that request, to the project directly from the default Claude chat interface. So super, super helpful. Projects are, like I said, I think the best feature of Claude Pro right out of the gate, and you can do a lot with them. So this is just part 1. Get ready for part 2. That'll be a lot of fun. So thanks a lot for sticking with me on this long video. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you're interested, please join my mailing list, as I can send you out updates on new videos that I publish. See ya. Thanks.